I was also studying somebody, and this is just kind of going a way that I kind of wanted to go. It's not intentional. I was also studying somebody, and one of the people that I like to study is the people that's incredibly successful. And so I was reading about, and I was actually looking at Mr. Beast, right? And Mr. Beast, look. Divest yourself from this mindset. Divest yourself from this mindset, y'all. Divest yourself. Just divest yourself. Just divest yourself. This is the mindset that continues to keep you down and perpetually in this same state because all they know is low vibrational talking points and content. Just divest yourself. Anyways, I was studying one of the people that I think is absolutely awesome. And I want to share this with you guys really quickly, right? Because I talk about this all the time. Before we continue, let me go ahead and read some of these super chats because I absolutely appreciate everybody that's holding down a platform. Thank you to E. E, I appreciate you for the $20 super chat. You are very, very much appreciated. I love you. Thank you for holding down a platform. You are much appreciated. Marcus Evans says, what up, bro? Glad you're doing great things. Great way to start 2023. Keep working. Keyword. Keep working. We're going to keep grinding. We're going to keep hustling. We're going to keep getting it. Thank you, Marcus Evans, for holding me down. I appreciate you. Thank you for being absolutely awesome. All right, so Mr. Beast, he's been doing a lot of interviews, and I've been studying him because I like to implement some of the things that he does, right? That's why I invest so much in my content, in my studio, and the things that I give you guys, even in an investor series that's coming up in the Patreon. Make sure y'all tap into that. Make sure y'all tap into the Alpha Juice Company. All of the discount codes is in the description. And then Teach Hanley, 30% off your first order plus a free gift. That link is in the description. He literally breaks down what his day is like. He's the most followed YouTuber in the world. He's always in grind mode and working nonstop for days at a time. And that's helped him gain success as an influencer. Let me highlight this one more time for y'all. All right? I'm going to highlight it one more time for y'all. Working nonstop for days at a time, that's helped him gain success as an influencer. One thing that y'all going to realize in a Pearl interview, which is something that I closely identify with. One thing that y'all going to realize in a Pearl interview is that one of the things that has made Pearl successful is that she has a relentless pursuit of success. Does not matter how you feel about her. She not tripping about how people have different comments about her, none of that other type of stuff. She just worked. The entire time that we was in Miami, because one of the things that y'all don't know is that when I went to Miami for the New Year's Eve meetup for the Bag Chasers, I also did a lot of work. I did a lot of interviews, and Pearl was one of those interviews. But me, Pearl, and a lead attorney was down there, and they were doing multiple different interviews with different platforms and working and grinding on themselves, right? And so the hustle was real. So real to where, do you know how long it took for us to plan to all get in the same room together to actually do that show that we did that aired on her platform last night? I mean, the one thing that I will always respect about content creators, whether I agree with them or not, is how crazy their work ethic is. And if you think that the success that these people are having is coming just because they got lucky, it's not. It's not. And so Mr. Beast talks about specifically how he works for days at a time during an interview with Lex Friedman, which I plan on going over this interview with you guys, hopefully either tomorrow or the next day, because I got a lot planned. He's talking about a lot of the things that he does to protect his mental health. He says, the best thing for my mental health is to get back to work. And that's the thing that I always lean into specifically. My superpower is my ability to work. Fortunately, unfortunately, my superpower is that when I start feeling a certain type of way, or I'm starting to take a L here, or things are happening, or things don't seem to be going right with the family and stuff like that, you know what I do? I come right into the studio. I've even built a bedroom in here to ensure that I can continue to grind nonstop as long as I got to get these ideas out. Because sometimes I may not make it home. I may be grinding inside of the studio. He says, and the most depressed I get is when I try to restrict it. Like I don't work weekends or I don't work this day. What's best for me is just to work when I'm feeling like working. And he talked about his hustle. He says there's just some nights where I don't want to sleep. And for whatever reason, I feel compelled to go all night. He continued adding, when I'm really in grind mode, it'll be 7 or 8 days just nonstop going and going and going until I realize, oh, I need some recharge time. And then I go binge watch a season of anime. I love that shit. I love it. I can relate to it so much to where Rita has been trying to make Anton from AntonDaniels.com go on more vacations and nap. You know, Rita just left from up here. You know what she made me do? She made me take a half-hour nap because I was up at 4:30 in the morning, went to the gym, took a shower, came straight here, and went straight into grind mode. Let me say that again. I woke up at 4:30 a.m., took a shower or worked out, took a shower, came straight up here and went into grind mode. Rita said, I'm going to have to come up there and see how you living up here, Anton. She came up here. I was like, yo, we need to take care of this from a business perspective, this from a business perspective. She's like, okay, we're going to get all of that done. Come on in here. We went in there. We took a nap. And then a half hour later, as soon as she was gone. She really only laid there to see if I was going to go to sleep. And then in a half hour later, I was back up and I was getting it. That's my safe space. My safe space is not in drugs. I'm high off life. My safe space is not with these hoes. I love working. I love grinding. I love hustling. I love going to build something and doing something greater than I did the day before. That's my safe space. I can't help myself. That's all I know. All I know is the hustle. All I know is the grind. And so he went on to say that he's trying to surround himself with people that encourage him to keep working harder. He is a reflection of the environment that he's created for himself. And you are only going to be as great as your weakest link. I'm going to be real with you. Everybody around you is going to influence you as to how it is that you go about doing things. A lot of people, when they come up to the studio, y'all, and we do our interviews and things like that, right? They like whatever they like. I buy food. They can smoke, they can drink. I got all of the liquors or whatever. Whatever it is that you feel like you want, I have it here available for you. If you like beautiful women around you, I'll supply you with beautiful women. If you like smoke, you like whatever it is. If you just want to come and chill and have a good time and have a church choir, I could probably arrange that for you. But the one thing that everybody is going to regularly say is that, Anton, you never smoke. I'm not trying to stop you from doing what you're doing, but Anton, you never smoke. Anton, how come you don't take a drink? I need clarity. I need to be clear. I need to be focused. I need to be into whatever it is that I'm into. Listen, I don't want any kind of thing that would divert me from being 100% focused on whatever it is I'm getting into at that specific time. I'm dialed in. I'm dialed in. I don't have those vices that a lot of people have. My vice is that I overwork. My vice is that I'll put everything else on the back burner in order to continue to try to build and do great things. He went on to say, normal people, listen, check this out, y'all. This is the part that I really want y'all to pay attention to. He said, normal people, they don't want that life, and they probably shouldn't. It's not good for you. He says, spending time with the people who don't share that work ethic can make him feel crazy, whereas if you're surrounded by similar people, it's so much easier. Let me say that one more time. Normal people, you don't want this life. That is the God's honest truth. You don't want this life because you don't want what comes along with it. You don't want to make the sacrifices that come along with it. That's why people are so busy trying to hate and jealous on people, and they trying to rob them and get at them and all trying to tear them down, is because they can't do it. And so as a result, they look at you as an anomaly and they say stuff to me like, Anton, you just got you a unicorn. Anton, you just did this. Anton, you do. They want to discount you and then try to blame it on something as it relates to luck. But the reality is that I have no special gifts. And the only thing that differentiates between me and you is that I'm willing to grind and work, and I'm willing to die for it. I'd rather be dying building something that can last long term, that my daughter will be able to take over one day, than going out and blaming somebody else for why I can't become whatever it is that I need to become. Let me say that again. Normal people, you don't want that life. You're not willing to stay up 2 or 3 days. You know, I was watching the different memes. Right? And on some of these memes, you know, they imitate people that try to motivate you to have success. And I've seen some of them on Instagram, and I'm not really on TikTok, but I'll jump into a TikTok because me and my daughter laugh at some of them because some of them is a reflection of me or Eric Thomas or Ike Johnson or something like that. And it's like the motivational ones, and then they take it over stream and they say, yeah, you know, you shouldn't sleep and you got to get up and you got to grind and hustle and then work this sun up to sundown and all this other type of stuff, right? And so many people more closely relates to that than relating to the aspect of it that you really do have to do that in order to go get it. Most people that's grinding, most people that's rich, most people that are successful, they work 14, 16, 17-hour days. The weekend don't mean anything for them. They don't understand the idea behind a 40-hour work week. They get up at the same time on Sunday as they do on Monday. Mondays, they already ahead because Sundays they was grinding and they knew that you wanted to sleep in and you really want to take Monday off. So you don't really get your wings behind you until you get Wednesday, hump day, and then you already preparing on Thursday because Thursday is the day that you get paid. You trying to figure out how you can take Friday off. I'm cool with that. I understand that you don't want this life, so I will always be ahead of you because I'm willing to outwork you and I'm willing to endure long enough to actually get to the success.